fighting some sun. Oh well. You can see I'm really lit up here. I am using just Wi-Fi, I mean cellular, so I hope everything works out. And I see I'm going to have to be intimate with you all, and hold 1 second. Where did I put? I'm here. I'm looking for my party favors. In a couple of minutes, I was going to light a fire. How's that sound? Yes. Now I can't see you. Where did I put my glasses? Oh, gosh. Oh. I'm in a state. I know. Hello, Jennifer, Nirmal, Maria, Todd. It's today. It was tomorrow last night, but it was today when I recorded it, and then I posted it, today, but I said tomorrow. Sorry I confused you all. Danielle Redmond, Jennifer Dyer, Visually Victoria. Hello, everybody. Bourbon Cat, Gus, Todd. We are in my living room. And this is the fireplace. But I see that's a little better. Really not the right height. I'm afraid I don't have what I need to do this, but why stop? At least I got this right. Cheers, everybody. It's Tuesday night, and it's quitting time. And how are you all? I hope you're doing well. I am doing well. I've been a busy little bee. If you happen to see, I was actually online last night, a live stream on YouTube with Dan Bell. And hello, Panda Marie, GGG de Newman, Stumpy, Rainbow, Alex the Historian, Dylan, Sherry, Kendra Pinkerton. Hello, Kendra. We love you. And I love Corona too. Just the beer, not the disease. Mitch, Roy Quitter, Draco. Hello. Hateful Hero, Plan, Teach, and Focus on You. Hello. So, as always, please thank me by clicking thank. That's my normal thing. Please click like. Step out and step back into the chat if you haven't liked. We have 40 people in the room already and 17 likes, and I see that just went up. Thank you very much. That podcast was fun last night, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Let me move this over here for a minute. I'm not going to set the fire for a while. Let me get the hell out of that. Oh, that's better. That's better. Just a little sun on my shoulder. There. So this is my home, folks. This is a vantage point you haven't seen before. I don't know if you can see over my right shoulder here is a painting. I'm very proud of that painting. That was painted for my birthday by a cousin who is a professional artist, Gail Sarah, or I'm not sure if she might go by her married last name. What a boob. But I love her very much, and she did that as She first asked, what would you like me to do? She basically like commissioned it in reverse and then presented me with this after she'd finished it. It was a couple of months later. Crystal. Yeah, we got the gang here. Destiny Glenn. So, and I saw quite a few of you were there. And Cliff B from Charlotte, thank you. I know, it's nice of me to let Dan into my content. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but I do appreciate Dan. And today I'm wearing a Dan Bell t-shirt. Now I'm in town, so I could bring to Florida Dan Bell t-shirts if anybody would like to buy one. We have a couple in 2X, a couple in 3X. One 2X has already been called for. The pricing is going to be reasonable. I don't know what we'll set because we're just going to try to cover the cost of the shipping basically. And it'll be a flat fee and you'll get the shirt mailed to you. Now it's complicated if you have people in Canada or in the UK or abroad, but if you really want a Dan Bell shirt, we'll try to get it to you. These are really great shirts. I've had this now for it was the fall of 2019, fall of 20, so a year and a half almost. And it's holding out. After a washing and it got all loose, it was a little stiff from being heavy cotton blend, heavy, not flimsy and light. So it's really good weight for the colder time of the year. Hey, Gmail, well, I just was saying, I have a small amount of these shirts that I actually created for sale, not Dan. These were my original merchandise, the first t-shirts that we tried to do. And Darlene's great, Mr. Doggy Dog. She's missing me, I'm missing her. I go back tomorrow. I'll rejoin back home around 7-ish tomorrow night, so. Well, cheers to everybody, and I hope everybody's doing well. I'm glad your belly is clear now. Mine is too. I put a little window in it. If anybody needed to check me out, you don't have to even hook me up to a machine. You can just look right in there and take a look. I have a trap door for my left kidney, so I can easily have stones removed without surgery. What else do I have? A prosthetic penis, because mine fell off a long time ago, hanging out with Dan. It got rotted, First 10 years I knew him. He's got a caustic substance in his derriere that didn't do well with me inserting all the time. So, yes, that's right. I fuck Dan every time I can. I should have had an asbestos condom. Maybe that would have protected it. So I have a prosthetic penis just for me to urinate with and to be able to have something to hold. I hope that's okay, is that okay, Abby or Victoria? I don't know. The guy with the N and all the numbers and letters. Hi there. How are you? Hi there, Quick Landscaping. Cheers to you too. Hateful F for Dad's Gerbils. Oh, yeah, I made that up the last time. Yeah, Dan's Gerbils. Oh, God, I'm so bad. CBA Com Saw Day. Hello, you're in Rio de Janeiro. Wow, that's great. Well, JBA, welcome. So anybody who is new, feel free to say hi. I'm new to the channel because guess what? I've passed 8,900 subscribers. I'm almost ready to pass 9,000. It's not going to happen unless it's you guys supporting me, more people coming on. Referrals are greatly appreciated, and I think it does help But why I'm wearing this shirt is I know that a flood of subscribers came over because of Dan helping to promote my latest video. And I'm glad you came over. And I was out, matter of fact, today shooting some B-roll for a future episode. So already on it. And tonight I'll be out again at the same location doing some more paranormal mumbo jumbo stuff with some equipment in the dark. In the dark. After dinner, and I relax a little bit and hang out with my daughter and her family, then I'm going to go back out again. The podcast was fun being live. The only thing with the podcasts is, and if you are a Patreon subscriber, you know, it wouldn't go too well on YouTube. Everything would be deemed not ad friendly, but you can still play it, but you won't be getting any monetization for it. See, that's the problem. There's a lot of, you can't do this, you can't do that on YouTube. And they determine whether or not your program, your live, whatever it is ad worthy. This is after you've hit the monetize level, which is quite a battle just to get to that when you're starting out. I know hard. And it's hard for anybody else to get started. And I'm still getting started. I mean, I haven't hit 10,000. A real person out there, examples are in the rest of the Dan Bell family. You have, who was already successful and now super successful, Jake Williams, and then friend, close buddy from basically home, which is Ontario in Canada. And, now Brendan started some years ago with Uncharted Travel. He's got that at above 100,000 subscribers now. He's doing great. And I hope I will too, someday. I will continue to persevere. And Neil, thank you for a shout out to Brendan's channel. Yeah, whatever. And having to do the thing with the children that makes me block the material from children outright and say it's not for children. But I don't say no, I will block you by your age. So it's like covering my ass, basically. It's at your own peril. But if you make it available for children, you know one thing you can't have: comments. All the comments are turned off. Chat is turned off. Hi, Darlene, honey. So that's the things that the rules that went in about a year ago caused. You know it's a limitation, but for people that are creators like myself, there's a greater good to everything. You got to go along with the flow and balance things out. If there was chat on a children accessible channel, they could then engage in chat with who knows who online. So there you go. Can't allow that kind of shit, or just reply back and forth to messages. Can't allow that shit. I am a goof. I'm crazy. I'm a nut. But when it comes to special things like the sanctity of a family, the freedom from abuse, neglect, mistreatment, etc., any age, child, elder, person living in a nursing care, rehab, or assisted living, home kind of setting, or in your own family, your spouse, another relative, whatever. I mean, a friend of the family. They're all potentials, unfortunately, and you got to protect your kids. You got to protect your family. So keep that in mind, and I'll shut up. It can be, but, this is supposed to be the happy zone. I'm so sorry I responded, but a person wanted to comment about the Kopka, rules, and, that's the way it is. So, I know that you have already probably talked about it, but I'm still going to keep doing it because it's like when a new movie comes out, the actors go out and plug, right? Don't they plug? So this is my chance to plug another odd place. A couple of comments I want to address, and I'm not trying to be flip or anything. They think it's a spin-off of Another Dirty Room because I said Another Odd Place. I did it specifically to connect myself to Dan Bell, and that I am, coming out and doing my own content. I'm a independent creator on this channel. So that's all, the name was about. I could have said so many different things as a name. That's the one I thought sounded good to me, and I thought about it for a while, believe me. So it's not really a spin off of anything from Another Dirty Room, other than you might have Dan on some episodes, or even Dylan, like the first episode, or others that might accompany me. They will be, in episodes, but I'm doing all the work. Unless they're doing something on there beside appearing, then I didn't even really credit those two. I don't think it was necessary to say that they were there, and it was actually the same time Dan was shooting something for Patreon, which has already been released. So you take a look at Dan Bell on Patreon and the video, the same place. You can compare the angle of the two. I used a static camera with infrared to capture the room, to hope to catch anything that might happen in the field of view. And those two nincompoops kept walking into the field of view and blocking the view of my camera. Does this look professional? I'm trying to be a serious ghost hunter, paranormal, supernatural, follower, investigator. And there's a way to get on Patreon. Thank you very much, Neil. And it's only $5 a month, and you can even get a discount on a year if you want to. But if you haven't subscribed, try a month for $5. I mean, seriously. Unless you're counting pennies to pay for just basic necessities to live, $5 is a very reasonable price, and myself included. And I'm not a compensated artist. I give to Dan my support, my help on podcasting and any extra things he puts on Patreon, just because I'm a friend, and also for the exposure, of course, that helps me to become more known. But I'm not getting paid like a paycheck or something from Dan on Patreon. It's not, I don't expect it. And, it's not the way it is. I have gotten a couple things in thanks for doing things behind the scene as well. And but that's not a pay. It's just because something he felt like he wanted to give, because he's generous to close friends, and he's got a lot of responsibilities to take care of economically. So I'm not expecting that. But thank you for anything that you would say positive, I hope, about what I've done with Dan and what will continue to do as long as I can. You know, we were together last night, and shoot, I forgot to do the stupid do not disturb. I think I can do it here. Hold 1 second. I'm not. I know that you're worried, but yeah, just a couple seconds off camera there. I didn't touch it. You still see me? I'm right here, right? I didn't touch the screen. Yes, I did. I am here. I told you. Thank you, descendant to the absurd. Hey, Rick and Dolly, honestly cannot wait for another episode of Another Odd Place. Now, that is what you do when you chat with Rick Serra. You give me a nice little donation tip, and that you plug it on my show. Thank you so much. That's love. That's love. So good. I'm glad you see me still. All I did was turned on Do Not Disturb. It wasn't a telephone call or something coming in. That's what I was stopping. Because I can do this without being interrupted if I just use that feature on iPhone that, I didn't know about for so long. And hey, Explorers, how are you guys? They're my friends, the Explorers, are ghost hunters in Florida, but they're soon to be moving up to a colder place. But that colder place has a lot of great spots to go to, you know what I mean? Investigate. And Rick has wheels, and it's not that far of a drive to Massachusetts from Baltimore. So keep that in mind, Nick. You get me? Heidi, yeah. Ricky could make it up there. So Christopher Grimm, third channel. I couldn't watch the last cocktail hour because we didn't have an internet, not net a lot because of storm. I'm sorry, but thank you for being here and thank you for that. Thank you so much. Yes, I saw your comment that you were unable to catch us, but I knew you'd come back. Uh, Southern Maryland, Neil. Okay. I've been around the Mud Home area and did some stuff, and I did, of course, all the way down in Fort or Point Lookout and the fort there. Well, not the fort, but the remains of the locations, basically. Um, and there's been some like construction to create a replica of some of the structures that were gone. And yeah, Hateful, I thought so too. So I would be up there happily if you could figure out something we could get into. There's so many places up there. It doesn't have to be some big name location. As you and I know, all we care about is the action. Right, Nick? That's right. JT, thank you. Your shows are getting more professional every time I watch. See that? I'm like almost in middle school now. I started in kindergarten as a YouTuber, and now I've made it to middle school. But I'm in that awkward sixth grade, when you're in between elementary school kid and big kid in middle school. Of course, when I was going to this, we called it junior high, and it started in seventh. So you went through the sixth grade in kindergarten. So when you were a sixth grader, it's like you were the senior in high school. You were big shit. Yes, and I'm 61. Yes, I am. I'll be 62 next, God willing, etc. And I'm not doing too bad. I have a little bit of gray, but I have hair. It's not too much gray. It's some. It's all mine, whatever color it is. I did a miraculous transformation over the first 2 years I retired and dropped my weight down by just being more active. Because my job, frankly, was a lot of sitting and reading and then getting up, walking around, looking, checking photography of what I'd found, uh, organizing all the different information, putting it together, uh, writing a report that was coherent and usable in a court. Because that's the kind of thing that I was into. I was enforcing rules that were required to be met if you wanted to get your reimbursement for doing a service in a hospital or a nursing home that was certified for Medicare. And of course, medical assistance insurance for those who have limited income. That could be somebody who's also older. The Johnson and Johnson vaccine, I mean, it's supposed to be effective at if you get sick, greatly reducing the impact. And if that's all that's available, come and get it. Right, Blake? It's Blake. He said, that's all I got. If you don't know what that really means, you mean I know something you don't. It's probably because you haven't been on Patreon during our podcast We have 171. I think Dan's editing the last one because he was matching uh, some post recording we did of the Rick's Erotica, which we didn't do during YouTube, to what was streamed live on YouTube. So I meant Patreon when I said Rick's Erotica. Not for YouTube, not suitable for work, etc. Long Beach. California is a place I'd love to visit. And if you were able to listen to Dan and the pod or the live stream, basically, that became a podcast on Patreon, um, we still hope to get back to another dirty room when the vaccinations have been completed throughout the country and we get to sit back and hope we see significant drops in related hospitalization and deaths until we're back to something normal. Oh, I know, the scat story. So last night we recorded this erotica, and it was a little bit towards the scatty side, but it went on and on and on and on. And if you're a fan, you know that at a certain point we might do the segue sound from Golden Girls, but this was so much, and Dan had just had enough. He actually called it before I was able to finish reading. It was page one of a 3-page story. Do you hear that, folks? It was 3 pages long of this same, and the guy was writing everything as if he was from the continent. Every word was, written just a little differently, it's spelling a little differently, just to be more British-esque or Old English or something like that. So, and the person who wrote, oh, I forgot what was the damn person's name. Why does it matter? I think I actually have it still, but it's not something that I'm like. I really don't enjoy reading erotica. What gets me, though, is, when it's so bad, it's really ridiculous, and it is funny. It's comical. Or you're laughing because of that kind of a nervous laugh you have when something very embarrassing is being said or whatever. It's a definite crikey. It's a super crikey. Definitely a super crikey. And it's like a holy motherfucker. You can't believe what they say on this show. Ugh. Darlene has been present during the taping of podcasts a couple times. And when she was in Dan's apartment, this was number one after leaving the condo that he and John Barad used to own. So that was on Park Avenue, and he hated that one. But she would go hide in the next bedroom or even in his large walk-in closet for the bedroom. Oh, do you like the seed joke? Oh, yeah, that was good. That was a bad one. And people who may be new and maybe people who just never realized, take a look at the community tab at the top of the channel for Rick Sarah channel on YouTube. I put little things up there. Sometimes they're new informational, or they are just supporting someone else and plugging their stuff. Oh, 127. all I know is when he was having her organizing and packing for him to move out of Park Avenue. Oh, yes, that is a glorious one. And I don't know which episode it is, somebody who's seen them or listened to them over and over. The one with my sister June, when we prank her going to Detroit. So we pranked her then, and then later we pranked her a second time. And that's the one that actually was shared, I think, by Dan as a little YouTube file, or it was on Patreon. I don't know which one. Hey, bye, Explorers. You guys take care of yourself. We got to try to hook up. I'll be back Wednesday, so I'm in town, this weekend, and I have a special guest coming to Florida. Maybe we could all hook up. How would you like to be involved with a strange kind of a investigation? So let's get in touch, Nick, because you'll really appreciate what we're planning to do. It's a little bit of a ride, but we can try to find a way to work it out. Like I said, off the air, I'll tell you what it is, and you're going to laugh. You're going to love it. So, and then you all will love it too when the time comes. Some little thing may happen next week. Just make sure you've clicked that bell for notifications if you're subscribed. If you're not, you've got no chance to know that something's happening. Danielle Redmond, thank you so much, honey. Danielle is one of the most generous fans that watch the show here. And I'm so glad that she has gotten over that fucking COVID and she's able to be here with us again. Glowing Turtle, hello there. Have you been a fan? I just am not aware of your moniker there. If you're new, welcome. Glad to have you aboard. I hope you enjoy everything on the Rick Sarah channel and all the rest of you as well. Let's see. Nancy Santa Maria Latica, what are you talking about? Oh, she said the same thing. Yes, Nancy. She was better. Thanks, Rick. You're all better now? Oh, God, that's great. That is tremendous, hon. God bless. We were told a bunch of crap about this disease. And Victoria, it's your birthday. You need a birthday song sung to you. Don't go away. So it's what you believe. But the last thing I heard, and this was a scientific report, looking at the basically the DNA of what is the SARS Corona 2, and how did it get here. And although quite a few reports were indicating something like deliberately created in a lab and released and etc. No, it was probably, unfortunately, naturally occurring in the jungle where the wild animals still live. And, China is unfortunately a very developing country that has not done a good job of protecting the environment from pollution. And if you disturb the web of life, things change, things happen. We're changing the whole planet and things are happening, and you see them happening. You can believe what you wish, but things are happening and not great. It's really up to us to start to turn the switch on changing things. All right, honey, I will. So, CCCP. I don't know what that exactly stands for, but that used to mean Russian, I think. Yeah, I know, super evil. That's the whole thing. I don't think that's the story. Then That's still going to be a story, though, because these things are said and they never get out of the domain of our thinking. Just because you hear it, don't think it has to be always real. Crystal Roderick, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much, too, for the tip. I'm glad you're able here to be here today. Look. Paul, what you want? I'm sorry. What? What? Are you talking about obsession of Dan Bell and Dylan to this ghost hunting program and this one particular episode and an elemental came out of a those boxes like Dan was using to supposedly let the ghost use the box to form words. And I don't know. I think those things are a fun little tool, but they rarely are correct. Rarely correct. But I think that Dan, when he puts together a video of this place that he's renting a space for an office, I think that I don't know where my angle was on that. Pardon me. I'll come back around later after the mental fart subsided. So let it go. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Okay. You've been working a lot. Well, I guess that's good or bad depending on money. Maybe if you're working a lot of hours, you're getting extra money, but the wear and tear on your body. Okay, hateful. I'm seeing multiple messages. Rick, do it now. Rick, do it now. Okay. Visually, Victoria, I would like to sing happy birthday to you, and I'd like you at home to join along. Are you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Victoria. Happy birthday to you. And you're still young. It's just a day to remember you were born. And the world was lucky that you came into it. You're welcome, Victoria. My pleasure. Cliff was singing along in text. That was good. Thank you, Cliff. I could hear that. Why do you feel as old as heck? Look, perpetual youth. Because I suck the energy from the phone. Look at this, no wrinkles. It's amazing, and I'm not full of fat anymore. So you can't say I'm just full. Look at the skin. Now I got a chicken neck. Ugh. It's all loose. See that? It's all loose hanging off my body. It used to be filled up tight, like I had gotten too much collagen injected into my skin. Neil, 30. Oh, I remember 30. Victoria, I remember 50. Oh, man. Good old memories of those days when I was still young. 50 is not bad. 50 is good. 50 is what I call your last decade of youth. When you hit 60, you're fully mature, and you have to admit youth is gone. But it's okay, because you're only going to be as old as you feel. It's your attitude. If you want to feel old, you can make yourself feel old, and you're young. Literally, you can do that with, thinking patterns that are negative. And, you don't deserve cutting yourself down from the inside. It's, uh, it's called reactive thinking. Some kind of thing that's been the problem. You try to think about it, you think you're going to help solve it. Maybe it's something you'll never affect because it's happened already. Crystal, that was quick. Well, thank you for being here. So, hey there, Night Plays. Are you like Night Moves? That was a good song, Night Moves. Reactive thinking, yeah. It's a term applied to anxiety and the study of people suffering with anxiety, panic attacks. Some people have symptoms that manifest in different ways: nausea, false chest pain, sweating. Uh, I've had two of the three: sweating, chest pain, feeling like I was going to die, go to a hospital, everything's fine. But you can't just take it that way. You just can't be told it's in your head. You need to understand why it's in your head. And I always recommend Claire Weekes, Weekes, was an author, a sufferer. Then she became a therapist, and she wrote books about how to overcome this. And you can. And sometimes it takes a long time. It took me a long time. Thank you, Paul. And what I mean, that's a terrible thing to get over. I can't say I have ever had to deal with PTSD like that. Some kind of a terrible trauma. However, it happened to you. You don't have to say, "Hey, Sam LaFleur." Mine was enough of a terrible, debilitating, and scary situation every time I had the symptoms. Thank God, knock on wood, I've been in remission for quite a long time now. Only have an occasional flare up. Rick, thank you, Cliff. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to be totally straightforward and not pulling any punches. And it is, there you go. Sebastian, thank you, man. Thank you for sharing. So, to those who suffer now, you know, could reach out to one of us who suffered and has now gotten past it, thank God. Hey, if you like to consider merchandise from Rick Serra channel, and Rick Serra, the person, the personality, the goof, you go to ricksarastore.com, and Neil Dawson's got a link on there. You could take a look at it if you wanted to. We have little trinkets all the way up to t-shirts that you could order any size from extra small to 4X, and variety of colors and 2 different styles with different logos on those different styles. So consider checking it out. Nancy Santamaria Latica has hers. Maybe you want to get some of yours. We still have some of the Rick Serra, Another Dirty Room, Soap Bar keychain, but they're getting close to the end. We don't have a lot left. We do have a lot of the different types of prints in the 4x6 print size that you can pick from. And we still have some of the earliest first items we put together for the channel and the show. We have magnet for the channel, and we have stickers for the cocktail hour with Rick. So some people like to take the magnet and put it on their refrigerator or a metal file cabinet, but they're resistant to weather, so they're made for applying to your vehicle outside, and it can put up with the weather. Thank you, Paul, for my good talk. I wish I could get credit for being relicensed. I have been stupid and not been keeping up on continuing ed, and I've been retired and not involved in doing any activity. I tried consulting, but I wasn't really putting it out there. Got a couple clients, and then COVID shut all the work down because my work's related to mostly when they do renovation and they want me to make sure that they're putting it together correctly. I haven't been asked to do anything with actual operations, personnel issues, things like that, which is strange because I could consult on all those areas. But so I have to make a decision, and if I'm going to try to get renewed, I have to get this education done before June. That means I'm going to have to look at online training and put up with that. And you know how exciting an online training system is. Yeah, like that. Yeah, cannabis does that for me too, and it also helps me with back and back spasms. Yeah, the photos are prints. They're not Polaroids. They're, image files that we print, and their price is $6, I think. It's very reasonable, and that is the complete price. So you're paying for the postage already. And some people like them. Look at them after the show if you want. I would be happy if you would buy one. And you can get them autographed, most certainly by me. I'm sorry I can't get autographs of the others, like the one photo we have Dan, myself, Jake, and Brendan all in one nice shot. I'm sorry that I can't do the sign for those three guys, but I'll sign myself on whatever, or I'll put a message on it as well. Just let us know. And Danielle Redmond wants to point out she has the one of us all. I think that's a really nice photo. I did that as a selfie, believe it or not. I held out the camera in front of us all, and we just looked at the camera. Pretty good. Great result for just taking a selfie, I thought. That would be a good role for me. Sometimes they call them in vivo coach, and I would love, to be able to do that but that's never been something I've ever actually pursued. But I would be happy, and I have offered, personal one-to-one time with a friend that I know is suffering. Brendan and Jake are great, and Emmy, Jake's girlfriend, she's great. They're just getting a little cabin fevered, obviously. They're stuck in Canada, so anything they can work on is something that they can access homeland wise. Well, Brendan is a great guy, and he gets along with everybody. I get along with most everybody as well. He's more agreeable than I am. And I mean, he's met Darlene, and the way that Jake and Emmy as well, and I don't know if this is true for all Canadians, but I tell you, they just are so polite and friendly. And yes, I have to admit, my wife agrees with you and thinks that Brendan is definitely a cutie. He is a chill dude. Yep, he is definitely. So, you're from Northern Ontario? Glowing Turtle? Wow. So, just for fun, if you could tell us in Fahrenheit, because we're stupid Americans, what kind of temperature do you have to put up with this time of winter now? What kind of temperature range, if you don't mind? And what kind of conditions? Is it dry or is it snow? What do you have? You go to the same UNI visually. I don't know what that was, but you said you go to the same UNI as Brendan. That's cool, whatever it is. Coyotes, a nut. Who goes by themselves, walks 2 hours through heavy snow, dragging their stuff, finding this abandoned, I guess it was a school, I forgot exactly what it was. And he goes through and looks through the mechanical systems, etc. Unfortunately, his batteries, he didn't have enough extras. He's like almost out of light. He gets into his little tent inside the building, wakes up to Coyote walking around his tent. And what he basically had to do was try to scare them off. And he did that with a little bit of, gesturing and yelling. But then he had to grab all of his gear, everything, and pick it up and run to the stairwell that led to the roof. He got in and closed the door just before they came back into the space, and he escaped them that way. Then he was trapped up on the roof, but he did find there was a mechanical room on the roof, and he was able to get in there and set up for the night and stay at least warm enough not to freeze to death. Only somebody 21 or 22 is going to do that kind of thing. That was amazing. Yeah, that was a great video. So, yeah, he's somebody definitely worth looking at his material if it's something you haven't really looked at too many times or only once. Yeah, Donnie, that's great for you in North Carolina. That's great. That's a heat wave almost now. Yes, it was 80 in St. Pete, or it was even in like 84 range in Seminole, which is just a tiny bit north of St. Pete and inland just a couple of miles. So just that much difference off of the water gave you 4 more degrees, because the Gulf water temperature is only in the 60s right now. And I was in it. Did you see Gulfside Creatures? A new little shoot and pop up video that I gave you all to enjoy. Yeah, I was in that water, and man, it was so beautiful. So if you haven't seen that, and you need a little bit of a recharge because you're a frozen popsicle, Gulfside Creatures, I think you'll like it. It's a very short little video. You haven't seen snow since the 90s, says Nancy Santa Maria Latica. Well, do you like snow? You must not like it too much, or I guess you'd have seen it. Yeah, really, AJ, wasn't it? Beautiful. And it's not like that every day, so don't think it's always crystal clear and the color changes, but sometimes it's very cloudy. It's, it's subject to that. It's a fairly shallow body of water along the coast. Penis worms jete. Okay. I don't know where that came from, what that was all about, but, it could be. So, how would you all like a little fire? Would you like a little fire to warm up? maybe I'm going to take this down here for now. I think that's what I'll do. Yes. And let's see if Rick can start a fire. So, a little bit of newspaper. And I moved ashes around because I need air to go under. And you always need to open the flue before you start. There's a little view. Let me set that there right now. Okay, so, oh, magically, look at this. Rick has sticks. You place them carefully, very carefully on the fire. Or the grill, I should say. Here's a piece of burnt wood. You put that in there. And I'll put a couple more pieces back here. And we'll start with a log there. Okay? So I closed the door so the air is forced in the front center of the fire. Are you all getting this, class? And if you have the right kind of dry kindling, little sticks first, and then you can watch what happens fairly quickly. You have to be a pretty trained and knowledgeable fire maker, because if you're not, your house can be filled with smoke very quickly, and then you're outside in the cold instead of enjoying a nice fire. Right, Darlene? Poor Darlene and my granddaughter Kylie had a scary time. They went to have a fire, but unfortunately, Darlene didn't know to open up the chute for the flue. So how is that, guys, huh? Not too bad? Hi. Here I am on the floor. Isn't this a ridiculous situation? This is the most weird live stream in the history of mankind. Yes. Well, maybe it could be Rick's quiet time. Let's see what I can come up with. I'll experiment right now. I am projecting. I had a premonition at 10:47 p.m. this evening. I'll be out alone at the what's it called? Jerusalem Mill Complex. It's a Baltimore County, Maryland park. It's protecting a farmhouse and land and a former barn that was a functioning farm. And the only thing remaining beyond the house used by the family that was running and working the farm, the tenant farmer, is the walls of the original barn, which were built in the mid-19th century approximately. I'm going to get more details because that'll be a future odd place for you all. And what's so odd about it is it's not that odd. Ghosts are real, and they are found in many different places, and they're not always demons, and they're not always scary. Sometimes it's just interesting to learn and then try to figure out why. You can get messages using an electronic recording device. Not every time, but at different times. There's no rhyme or reason. It just happens. And I will be collecting recordings, challenging them with questions, any spirits that may be there. I'm going to be going to a blacksmith shop. I'm going to go to the mill building. I'm going to go back to the farm and the barn. And I'm going to do another session with a ghost box at the same location I did one of these same sessions with Dan Bell back in January. And I have a premonition that during this session, I am going to see a disembodied or a full-bodied apparition after hearing the disembodied voice of this being calling out to me. Likely it'll happen while I'm running the ghost box. And I'll not know that there was more than one word. As Dan pointed out on another Odd Place episode 1, it was never easy to get them to say a whole sentence. So if I am correct in my premonition, I am going to soil my pants, but I will run the video and bring it all back to you, minus the soiled pants. Those I won't even mention. Maybe I should wear an adult diaper. That might be a good idea. What do you think, Darlene? Should I wear? It depends. Tonight. I hate to tell you all, but I can't see any messages I took the glasses off for this stupid bit, but when I put them back on, I will scroll through what you said because I noticed a colored box, which usually indicates somebody gave me a tip. So let me see. Who was the to do such a thing for me? Hey, use your uber soft voice like Dad. My hair is a mess, and it's looking lighter all the time. I'm succumbing to the cosmic rays, folks. Even though I'm supposed to be sheltered by the atmosphere and the magnetic field of the earth, I can still feel those cosmic rays tingling in my head. Just like I hear the radio right now. And the voice of the announcer saying, "Behold, I bring to you knowledge of all. Use it well." Sounds of Katajamaki from Finland. I had to come out of my bit for that. Thank you so much. I'm your humble host, Rick Serra, in my living room in Maryland in the United States of America. Thank you so much. You know, I have 113 likes. You guys are just too great. And I just got some more. I got Joanne gave me a donation here saying, "Love you, Rick." Pass the weed from J-Tay was just a nice thing to say. The warm crackling fire is nice, isn't it? But I saw something else. Let me keep going. Here it is. Artie G. Thank you, Artie G. Are you new as well? I can't tell, like I said, if we have new or just the people who've watched the show but stayed in the shadows, just like those shadow people. Super Evil C. Yes, I need a face diaper too. They call them a mask. And we all wear face diapers nowadays. But thanks for pointing that out. Neil, yes, I did fall. And I did get up though. So I guess I don't need that stupid plastic thing around my neck. When I'm that pitiful, I'll let you know. Oh, Courtney, that is excellent. See, people, everybody should do what Courtney does. She puts alarms on her phone so that they're recurring so she never misses. Because you can't count on YouTube notifications being 100%. Sometimes they go out at 30, 40 minutes after I started, right? Right? Who knows that? The shadow do know. And the shadow won't tell us. Malibu Harpy. There was a Malibu Barbie. Remember that? Malibu Barbie and Ken, and they had the beach buggy, and then they had the like the Winnebago, and they would go on trips all around your carpeted floor. Did you play with that too? It was pink. Oh, who had the high-rise apartment with the elevator. Anybody have one of those? Glowing turtle. The official word on the Rick Sarah channel is we don't discuss politics, religion, and any other divisive topic because there's no winning. Even if you say things nicely about this topic area, it's likely someone else will be offended. So instead of offending, we just like to have fun. And hopefully, I make you laugh instead. And if you laugh enough, then your mind will be free of stress and tension, and you'll be able to think clearly at times such as when there's an election. Just vote because you have the right to, and because our armed services fight or serve and give their lives so we can. And that's as far as I'm going to go. Everybody like that? Is that okay? Was I down the middle of the road enough? I was on the double yellow line. I was on the double yellow line holding it steady. Thank God I was on an Arizona highway, straight as an arrow. Good. So, just FYI. Oh, Curious Canadian. Oh, God. You don't even want to learn about it. You'll be better off. Just close our eyes and go forward and pray to God it works out. That's the only thing you can do. I will say one thing that is probably too far, but this is the reality. People like you and I, we have nothing to do with anything. There are powers out there we do not know, and they control all. And they are all tied with money. And I don't think that's a mystery to anybody. That's just the way it is. Get your little slice, keep your head down, keep your nose clean, enjoy your life, and be happy. And that is all you can hope to do. Well, that was happy. The only money I want to hear is if somebody wants to talk about Pink Floyd's song. That was a very good lyric, and it pretty much set the tone for exactly what I just said. Although I think it was written by Roger Waters. But I could be wrong, because David Gilmour wrote a lot too. Oh, I do. Thank you, Nancy. That's it. And you know, a year ago, I was all in the middle of all this shit before I decided to do this COVID escape cocktail hour. I was obsessed. I was in a bad place. I was not very happy. I wasn't very nice to be with. And I looked at the mirror somehow and I realized, why am I doing this? It affects nothing except for my blood pressure. Stop it. So I stepped out of Facebook and all the other places where you could sling mud back at each other and just stop playing. So that's all it was, a wasteful game and a lot of people, trusting in things that are coming from you don't know where. And Camel Toe Barbie is out now? Oh God, I've got to go get myself one. Is it just a Barbie size, or can you get a human life size version of Camel Toe Barbie? Maybe Camel Toe Barbie is also been working with the company Fleshlight to create some special extra for the Barbie life size Camel Toe Barbie.
She will smile because her face never changes, but her camel toe does. Oh, God, that's terrible. Oh, God. Oh, my God. It's like a plastic doll, not a robot of some type, but it just has one of those things in there instead of a empty plastic shell. Get yours now on rickshairstar.com. Limited quantity available. If you need to ask questions about the specifications, send a message to my wife Darlene at rick.adr@aol.com. You can ask her about height, hair color, and if the drapes match the carpet. That would be better, maybe. Although some people like brown hair, but a blonde carpet. A blonde carpet. God. All right, and just send it to her. Uh, send a message twice for quicker response. I can't wait to hear my wife later when we chat after this broadcast is completed. And thank you about that comment. There you go. God does not necessarily favor any political party. That's it. Because all that is man's bullshit. It isn't the creator of all. It's not their bullshit. He, she, it, whatever the creator really is. This is our shit. So when you hear somebody say, God said that this is supposed to be the way, remember that. I told you that it's a bunch of bullshit. That's not the case. God is not favoring anybody except for those who follow God's commandments. There you go. That's the real deal. And who give their shirt off their back, their shoes or their sandals to those who don't have. Feed the hungry, clothe the naked. Now, anybody who's in politics and that's their politics, they sound like not too bad then. That's exactly right. Golden rule. Even if you don't have a spiritual connection, you don't believe in that. I do. Doesn't mean you have to have faith in a God. I know people who never will. Uh, so it's okay, That's a decision, a choice you made, a decision you made in your life. But I've felt too many times the presence of God in my life. So I encourage you to try to just listen and don't expect some giant message, but just keep your ears open and be open minded. God touches you more than you want to acknowledge. All right, now I'm on religion, I guess, or spirituality. I'm breaking all my rules. What else is there? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, Darlene is coming. She is going to run up here. She's going to drive straight through overnight just to be able to smack me in the side of the head. If she had the ability, she would throw a piece of paper all the way from Florida to hit me in the head. All right, I'll talk about weed for the next 10, 11 minutes, and that's a good way to finish. Since I got my wife all huffy, and I hope I didn't get anybody else upset. I have 113 people on a Tuesday night. Who'd have thunk? 140 thanks, or likes rather. They are thanks from you to me, and I appreciate it. Yes, it isn't quite legal. If you're not a person who can buy it as a medical cannabis, and you have some, and the constable says, "What are you doing there? What do you have?" And it's less than a certain amount. I think it's 7 or 10 grams, so like a quarter of an ounce. So, like if you bought 2/8 at the dispensary, and then you sold them to a friend, maybe at cost, of course, just because they don't have a card, and then they're driving home and they got pulled over for a tail light that's out, and the stupid idiot had the two containers of the herbs sitting around the front seat. The officer sees them. It's a ticket now. It's called decriminalized. So you lose your weed though. The cop takes it and he smokes it. No, he turns it in as evidence, of course. I collected 1/8 ounce, Your Honor. Your Honor, the officer must be mistaken. I had two containers that both had that same amount. So I actually had 7 grams, not 3.5 grams. So, officer, what's going on here? Did you only turn in half of the evidence? Mr. Sarah, you're out of order. You have to get acknowledged by the bench before you can speak. All right, Your Honor, may I speak openly? Yes, I did get stopped. I had 2 containers of medical cannabis a friend gave me, and the total weight, like I said, would have been 7 grams. And as you see in the report that charges me, it only notes 3.5 grams. So what happened to the other 3.5 grams, Your Honor? Officer Friendly, do you have an explanation for the difference in what you stated in your report and now the assertion by the defendant, Mr. Sarah? Your Honor, I don't know what happened. That's all I remember. Uh, but what can I say? Sometimes mistakes are made. Maybe it was 7 and not 3.5. I don't know. All right, Mr. Sarah, I find no basis to be able to reverse the charge, and you'll pay the fine of $100 plus court costs. Are you kidding, man? I mean, this is robbery. You're contributing to the delinquency of the police by not putting something in place here. This guy's lying in court. He kept half of the stuff. What did he do? Did he sell it? Did he smoke it? Did he give it to his kid? What did he do? I think that you need to do something. I think you need to have a continuance, and you need to order the state's attorney for the county to investigate this officer, because I think that if it happened to me, this officer is doing this all the time. He's probably driving around chasing down all the friends of people who have a cannabis certification, and they're doing. They're just stopping them, getting a ticket, and taking their weed, and then only turning in a portion of what they caught. Heck, I could have had a pound, and the guy said 3.5 grams. All right. This story will have to be continued at another time, if ever. I don't know what you call that. It's kind of like a lame brain, mind of consciousness thing. You like the beach? Thank you. I'm glad you like the beach. I'm glad you're not a son. You must be a father, or you'd be a son of a beach. But Nancy, I know, really, I'm sure it happens. Unfortunately, uh, this town, Baltimore, city anyway. I'm in the county. But the city has had some problems with their police not being honest, breaking the law themselves. It's sad. But it just means that more needs to be done to root out the few sour apples. That's what has to happen. That's why things need to be done with that across country. Or this kind of shit will keep on going on forever. Do the fire chats from now on. Well, look what happened. This chat's about to die. Oh, my fire's dying too. To be quite honest, I have an engagement immediately after the broadcast, and I'm supposed to finish at exactly 6:30. I know, but I agreed to do this, and I can't turn down my host, who is my daughter across the street, who has made dinner for me and her family, and I'm going to go join them next. Yes, I'm leaving in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But I have thoroughly enjoyed being with you guys today. I hope that you've had a good time. I hope I've given you a few laughs, made you feel a little comfortable if you were feeling ill at ease. That's what the cocktail hour is about. And we'll have to have some kind of special thing to ring in our anniversary of a year of the cocktail hour with Rick. That's coming up in March. If you could take a look, it wasn't called Cocktail Hour with Rick, but the first long stream where I just chatted with people was late March of 2020. So that could be considered a stretch, the first cocktail hour with Rick. But in actuality, when you started to see them, they might have actually been April. I have to take a look and see myself. Seems that you guys know more about the stuff that's on the channels, Dan or myself, than we do sometimes. 149? Can we get one more? Yay! Oh my God, 150. 150 likes. You guys are too much. 115 of you all still here. Thank you again, Neil. Anybody wants to, pop over to ricksarastar.com. It has a link to my channel. It has a link to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and it has a pink Facebook emblem. And if you click that, it is for the first season and the second season. We were lucky to have a young lady named Haley Crane and a friend who I don't even know her name, unfortunately. But the two of them collaborated and put together this lovely art. And if you've never seen it, it's worth a gander. There's quite a few pages to go through. But you can get right to it by the pink Facebook link. So it is just about 6:30 Eastern Time. The skies are dark. The twilight's fully in place. The stars will be out tonight. The moon will be out. It's going to be clear out here. I hope you have a nice rest of your week until Friday at 8 o'clock when I bring back late night cocktail hour with Rick. Late, starting at 8. So please put that on your alarm for every Friday at 8 and then maybe every Tuesday at 5, and you'll be every time. That was something that a fan suggested because that's what she did. Thank you all. Thank you to the new people that have come on. Love you all. Thank you for your support. Until Friday, I say goodbye and peace.